And of course, back to school shopping is already happening ahead of schedule this year. And it's not really about beating the crowds. Parents, feeling the pressure of rising prices, are rushing to fill their kids' backpacks before new tariffs threaten to push costs even higher.
Let's bring in Queen City News Chief Business Correspondent Taylor Young. So this sounds like the anticipation of tariffs impacting consumer behavior here.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not too surprised by this. So we have seen this kind of early bird shopping behavior really a lot over the last couple of months. At first, it was the big ticket items like cars. We saw sales really skyrocket back in March when there were announcements that there would be tariffs on car parts. Then we saw it with electronics like cell phones and laptops. And now, as we're kind of entering the fall, the school time, parents are really kind of getting ahead of those tariffs. And I think this all goes to say that when consumers hear enough about tariffs and the potential that they could have on prices, they really try to get ahead of it and kind of beat those prices rising. But I think what stands out to me the most is how many Americans are getting a head start on this. It is estimated 2/3 of families with school-age children started shopping for upcoming school year last month. That's the earliest start on record for that amount of people. And now we're getting a better sense of how much they're spending. So according to the latest numbers by the National Retail Federation, this year Americans are projected to spend a whopping $128 billion on back-to-school shopping. That amounts to about $858 per K-12 child for items like clothing, shoes, and supplies. Now, I will say that number is slightly down, actually, from last year, which was $874 per child.
Wow.
I can just hear the cha-ching, cha-ching going off in my head. Yeah, racking up. All right, so we know the tariff landscape's changing all the time, right? Going up, going down. As far as school supplies, though, how are you seeing that impact this specifically?
Yeah, well, I think on a positive note, while we're still kind of seeing the full scope of tariffs kind of being worked through the system and the supply chain, like shoppers, companies have also kind of planned ahead. We've seen a lot kind of stock up on merchandise. We're also seeing a lot kind of eat any of those costs that we're already seeing. So right now, yeah, I don't think that shoppers are necessarily seeing skyrocketed prices because of tariffs. However, that strategy of stocking up and eating those prices is really only temporary. There's only so long that companies can kind of hold on doing that until they have to pass those costs down to customers. So I do think that it is smart, just like economists said to car buyers who were looking to buy a car earlier this year, buy it sooner than later. I think that kind of works the same way for school supplies as well, just getting ahead of it.
Yeah, and it kind of spreads that out a little bit too, so it's not overwhelming to do that one big shopping trip. But what items specifically do we see the biggest incoming price hikes?
Yeah, potentially, unfortunately, a lot of things across the board. So from clothing and shoes, which have high import rates, as well as electronics. Backpacks, the majority of them are coming in from China. And even things like pencils. Those kind of supplies too, a lot of them are made overseas. So eventually when these tariffs do take effect, this could impact really anything involving school supplies.
Taylor, with so many shoppers going ahead of time early, does that affect affordability at all?
So I think not only are we seeing shoppers kind of head to the stores earlier this year, but we're also seeing them kind of change where and how they shop. So they're really paying attention to sales. We also know that they're even turning to thrifting. We've seen a lot of that on social media, of parents kind of posting being proud of going to thrift shops instead of kind of those big box retailers. But despite the efforts, the reality is a lot of parents say that school shopping this year is going to put them behind. 1/3 claim that they can't already afford the essentials this year for their children, and about half say they will be actually going into debt, just for buying all the school supplies for their children. But I will say, with $858 per child, if you have multiple children in the school system, you could see how those costs really add up.
Yeah, you're going to use that pencil in your book bag from K all the way till you graduate high school.
It's down to that little nub.
You're going to hang on to it.
That
costs money. All right, you get an A+, Taylor. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.